Magicians only, for your ears. Magicians only, conjuring fears. Magicians only, no more tears. The greatest trick is real.
And we're back. Hello, all you lovely people. Welcome to another episode of Magicians Only. Did you like that new theme song? I've been playing around with AI. I've just been kind of chatting with AI about theme songs, and all I did was actually ask it to create a couple of theme songs for Magicians Only. Told him it was a podcast, told him I was hosting it, and it created everything else. So what you just heard was the beginning of one of the theme songs. At the end of this episode, I will be playing you the other theme song along with the lyrics. I like it, it's catchy, but I do think we've got a long way to go. Maybe it's just the way that AI views magic in general is kind of a little old-fashioned, shall we say?
For magicians only.
It's been a very busy time. I was out traveling, doing a bunch of shows and speaking engagements. I was in Cherry Hill, New Jersey for the MAES convention, where we did lecture, talk, close-up show, and my full 90-minute one-man show, which was a blast and thankfully really well received. So thanks, everybody. Had a wonderful time. Thank you for the love. It was great to meet everyone. And then I was honored to be invited to New London, Connecticut recently for the Milbourne Christopher Foundation Award, where amongst a number of other luminaries in the field, I'm very proud and honored to have been presented with something called the Masters Award. And this is the Milbourne Christopher Foundation. It means a lot to me, and I'll tell you why in a second. This is a beautiful wand. It was, which you can see. I think it was Tony Karpinski who you can tell it's got his trademark inlay right here. It's got a beautiful thing on there. But check out the wand; it kind of rises as you bring it out. And I think this is rosewood with gold tips, and so it's as wands go, Harry. It's not bad. You know what I mean? It's not a bad one there, Harry. It's not bad at all. It's beautiful. Absolutely gorgeous. I do a wand spin, but I'm afraid I'd break something. So thank you to the Milbourne Christopher Foundation for the Masters Award. I'm honored to receive it. And I'll tell you why. So when I was a kid, Milbourne Christopher was this wonderful magician who was very involved in not just performing himself, but also in writing about magic, reviewing magic, and creating books. And one of his books was The Illustrated History of Magic, which I would take out of my local library every 4 weeks. I think I was the only guy who read it, cover to cover. It was the most beautifully put together book. I'm drooling. It was the most beautifully put together book on the history of magic. Now, some people would say not everything was accurate. It doesn't matter. It was inspiring. And when I read this book, I mean, I would read about magicians like Paul Rossini, Nicola, and Dante, and Houdini, and all of these, but also the magicians that you haven't heard of. It really made me want to be a magician. So just that one book inspired me. Then I got hold of these magic magazines that were called the Hugard's Magic Monthly. And if you haven't read the Magic Monthly, they're amazing. They're now available in PDFs, so they're completely searchable. Super useful, right? So I got the Hugard's Magic magazine, and Milbourne Christopher had columns in that where he would publish 2 or 3 ideas every single month that were great, really practical stuff. Then he had these books that came out, Varied Deceptions, One-Man Mentalism Shows, Stretching a Rope. In one of them, there was a trick known as Super Stab, which is, as we now know, it's a very classic effect. It's the paper bag, card chosen, signed, shuffled back into the deck, thrown into the paper bag, shake up the bag, stab it with a knife, boom, you've got the signed card. Well, there's so many versions of this with jumbo cards and the rest. And Milbourne Christopher was the guy, if he didn't invent it, he certainly popularized it. On Magic on the Go, who happily sponsor this little program, there is an entire playlist on Super Stab with a bunch of ideas collected from around the world of magic, plus some really wonderful new original approaches and ideas when it comes to that, including, imagine also stabbing through the paper bag, getting the card, and then producing from the bag a full glass of beer. No body load, you can do it surrounded. I mean, it's a great method. Or using the trick as a deck switch, or, well, there's so many ideas. Even Robert Harbin has a 2-card version that's part of the Superstar list. So you can see that Christopher, Milbourne Christopher, had like a huge impact on me as a kid growing up in magic. The other thing that I love about Milbourne Christopher, and I mentioned this in my speech, and I don't think people either knew this or got what I was saying. So I was having dinner with Max Maven one day, the great mentalist Max Maven, and he was telling me this Milbourne Christopher story. I don't remember all of the details, but the kind of the macro version is this. So there was Milbourne wrote for the Hugh Guards Magic Monthly, but there was this other guy. There was another guy called Frank Jogler that the people didn't really know. But he was reviewing magicians. He was reporting news from around the magic world. And sometimes he was a little harsh or a little sarcastic when it came to certain performers or tricks that were coming out. But nobody knew who he was. He was protected. He had this anonymity. He had this veil of anonymity, right? So then apparently somebody, I don't know who it was, Max did tell me, and I'm sorry, I forget who it was, somebody received their check from Hugh Guards Magic Monthly. They'd sent in a trick or something along those lines, or maybe it was a subscription response. Anyway, a letter to Frank Jogler happened to accidentally have been stuck on the underside of the envelope. And so they were able to see the address and who the check was made to that was in that envelope. And it turns out it was Milbourne Christopher. Yes! Milbourne Christopher was Frank Jogler. I don't know where he found the time. Listen, this guy, what I love about the articles was they were so honest. They were great. Sometimes we need that kind of brutal honesty to move the art forward. So there you go. So thanks again to the Milbourne Christopher Foundation, to Tom Ewing, to David Havisett, everybody who was so lovely to me. And also congratulations to all the other award winners. I feel like I'm honored to be in such good company. Also, I don't necessarily this is a Masters Award, which I'm very flattered to receive for contributions to magic. I don't really believe in being a master of anything. I honestly think that you can approach trying to master something, but I don't ever believe anything can reach perfection. And so, I will take this as being someone who is continually trying to better the craft and the history of magic and the magic that I myself perform and invent. So thank you once again for this delightful honor.
For magicians only.
Before I flip you over to the session that we recorded recently with our guest here, Alex Boyer, who, by the way, was an absolutely amazing guest, and I can't wait for you to hear what he has to say. There was so much good stuff that I've had to cut it into 3 different episodes. The first episode, we're going to be talking about his approach to magic and branding and his personal live show. Then we're going to flip over and talk about his experiences as one of the 4 stars of True TV's Big Trick Energy, because that was a brand new experience for Alex. And and we're going to dish some dirt, so check that out. And then on the 3rd episode, we're going to talk about a bunch of other stuff, but also FISM 2025, which was very interesting. So next 3 weeks are going to be very cool with a lot of great stuff from Alex. But before we flip over to the interview, I just want to say 2 things. One, I was saddened to hear of the death recently of Kreskin, the mentalist. And the amazing Kreskin was someone who, in my childhood, he had this little television show, and for some reason it ended up on British television. And I will never forget Kreskin doing this mentalism piece where he had an invisible die, and you had to imagine the numbers on the dice. And then he would throw the die, and the celebrity guest said, I don't know, it was 3. Then he had them pull the die apart, and there was a little piece of paper inside, and it had the number 3. You will think of the number 3 written on the piece of paper. Now, if you know anything about magic, you'll know how that's done. As a kid of 8 or 9 watching that, I was blown away. That had such an impact on me, clearly. I've never forgotten that moment. And that was Kreskin. Kreskin was one of those really enigmatic performers who seemed to shun the magic community. Which is fine, because he's a professional magician. He's working his shows. He's got it down. He's touring the provinces. He's filling out theaters. He's famous for hiding his check at the end of the show, and then psychically somebody would hide it, and then psychically he would run around and try to find it, which I think is great. Although today a lot of modern audiences might say, "What's a check?" But I've heard a lot of people talk about Kreskin having a love-hate relationship with magic. If you want to know what he was like, or at least the Hollywood version of what he was like, there's a movie called The Great Buck Howard. which is a story of a young man who gets a job touring with a mentalist magician. And that is supposedly based on the experiences of a young man who toured with Kreskin. So John Malkovich plays Buck Howard, the Kreskin-type character, and it's a wonderful movie. So I hope you'll give that a check out. And you'll get an idea. I do have one Kreskin story. So I'm on the board of directors, and we get a request by Kreskin's manager, who said that he's in town for a private event. It was going to be coming into town at the end of the week for a private event. Would we consider would we want Kreskin to perform in the Palace of Mystery? So this would have meant asking the performer who was in the Palace of Mystery if he wouldn't mind taking the night off or a couple of nights off. We thought it would be great for the members. It would be lovely to see Kreskin perform at the Magic Castle. And so we had a meeting. We talked to the performer, who was very gracious about it. And we got back to them and we said, yes, we would be honored to have Kreskin perform at the castle. To which with the response we got was, oh no, he doesn't want to perform at the castle. That wasn't his manager. That was just somebody else on his advance team who overstepped his bounds. And of course, Kreskin would never perform at the castle. So basically what I think happened, he just wanted to find out whether, we'd want him or not. And then as soon as we said we did, he was like, oh, no, I don't need to do that then. Very interesting situation, right? Anyway, before I introduce you to Alex, I want to tell you about this. This is the Close-Up Magic of the Masters. This is a little book produced by Jack Flosso. I got this from Busby Corin Incorporated Law, or at least it was published by them a long, long time ago. It was published by Flosso Hornman Magic Company, so that gives you an idea how old it is. I found this in the back of an old secondhand magic auction, and I've never seen this. It's called Close-Up Magic of the Masters, Pet Secrets of Vernon Slidini, Scarni, Daly, Bertram, Al Baker, Paul LaPaul, Nate Leipzig. It's a thin little tome, but oh my gosh, it is packed with such wonderful material. It's really great. This is the first time I saw Doc Daly's Perfect Salt Trick, which we explain on Magic on the Go. And a lovely little article on close-up magic at the very beginning, the preface, by Bert Allerton, Bert Allerton was a performing magician, a full-time working professional close-up magicians, when very few had that kind of a gig. He worked high-end restaurants, and he just had a way about him where people would want to see him, and they would invite him to come to their table. And there's a number of books on Bert Allerton's magic, but this is what he thinks personally about magic and magicians. And I want to read this to you, so buckle up, kids. It's not that long. Here we go. Watch the faces of laymen who are witnessing an intimate performance. Do their eyes gleam? Do they have an expectant look of wonderment and enjoyment on their faces? Or do they look tired, bored, and unhappy? Consummate skill, which magicians revel in, admire, and rave about, often produce the latter result when exhibited to laymen. So don't let the praises of magicians fool you. After having entertained over 20,000 groups with close-up magic in the 12 years that I've worked professionally, and having listened night after night to the individual comments and dissertations on magic and magicians, I have reached the following conclusions. When magic is performed at a distance, most people feel that if they were close up to the magician, they could see through what he was doing. In other words, they're prone to give the distance credit instead of the magician. For that reason, close-up magic, if well done, is generally more effective than other types of magic. Audience participation tricks are always the most effective, and hardly ever is suspicion attached to the assisting spectator in close-up magic, particularly if the performer shifts from one person to another. However, in other types of magic, when an assistant is called from the audience, most people immediately feel that the person used is a plant and has been previously coached or is being cued while assisting. If it's possible safely to let the spectator handle the props you're working with and actually perform part of the effect, you will find your magic not only more baffling, but much more entertaining. There are 3 types of close-up magic. First, icebreakers and friendship builders for salesmen, etc. Second, impromptu magic for your friends and others present. Third, professional close-up, which can be divided into 3 categories: table, bar, and parlor. Now, I don't believe any of you have ambitions to be professional close-up performers, so I will just deal with the first two. To be a successful close-up magician, you must, number one, really love magic and not do magic because you love to show off. To quote John Mulholland's The Art of Illusion, magic is the art of creating illusion agreeably. To be entertaining, it must give the effect of being the accomplishment of the impossible by a pleasant person. Number two, love people to the point of sincerely being more interested in their enjoyment of what you're doing than in the effect itself. Oh, that's so important. Number three, have a natural adaptability for doing magic, using your own natural style. In other words, be yourself. Number four, be a salesman to the extent of giving the public what you can do that really entertains them, not using the effects that you may think are good or that you like to do, or that other magicians think are good. This is so important because I remember somebody telling me that they studied Derek Dingle and I love the Derek Dingle books. He was a wonderful close-up magician, if you don't know. And then somebody worked with him and said he did sponge balls in an invisible deck. So, this is the thing. You've got to do magic for the public. If you're going to perform for people, do magic that works for people. Number five, streamline your magic. Eliminate all irrelevant and unnecessary moves and patter. The best way to perform a trick is the easiest. Complicating a trick, which is a weakness of many magicians, should be definitely avoided. Simplicity means ease of execution with increased deceptiveness. Number six, learn that the hand is not quicker than the eye. To quote Sax's sleight of hand, the learner must from the outset dismiss such an impression from his mind as untenable, even for an instant. Number seven, have a sense of timing which can only be fully developed by experience. This is one of the most important factors in successful presentation of close-up. Learn to build up suspense, create surprises, and produce laughs. Use corn if necessary. Corny jokes? Yeah, I'm not totally in agreement with that, but we'll go back to Valentine. The rest of this is gold. Number eight, be a student of psychology, for there are many startling and unexplainable effects which can be performed as a result of knowing what people will do under a given set of circumstances. That's a wonderfully cryptic phrase, but if you're a magician, you know what he's talking about. Number nine, you must routine your presentation. Your effects must be psychologically selected and performance tested and carefully arranged. The opening is most important and should break down as quickly as possible the normal dislike for magicians on the part of so many people, apparently due to unimpressive performances that they previously witnessed. Every effect must sustain interest. Like any good performance, the climax or concluding effect is exceptionally important, and if possible, leave them laughing. I always remember I used to do this bit. I don't know. I think everybody was doing it around the castle at one point in the early 90s. But what you would do is you would say as you're walking around doing close-up magic, you would say to the audience, "Can you guys do me a little favor? When I'm going to do a fan of cards like this and hold my arms up in the air as I hold up the fan. As I do that, will you all cheer as loud as you possibly can? Cheer and clap." And then everybody else here gets really jealous. And then the host who's paying for it, he might actually sign the check. And everyone kind of laughs, and you go, "Okay, you guys ready? 1, 2, 3, fan the cards." Everyone goes, "Yay!" And that brings attention to you. And then you're able to walk around, and as you do it at each group, people laugh because they realize they've been had. I mean, it was a great bit of business, and I haven't thought about that in years, but that leaves them laughing, kind of, it's a little meta, it's a little fun. Anyway, just a thought. Back to Allerton. Number 10. Be a gentleman or a lady. I'm going to add in or a lady, of course. Basically, have class. Be careful of your manner of speech, your patter, your dress, your general conduct. Blue materials should be avoided. Smile graciously and be friendly. Of course, the blue material thing depends on your audience, right? I mean, it's all about environment. Number 11, have a sense of humor. Have a sense of humor. Have a sense of humor about yourself. He says, and if not naturally a comedian, be able to build up situations with your magic that produce laughs. That release of tension that can do that. The element of surprise is a most effective method. And number 12, and last, but basically the first requirement, be a... I was going to cut away then and just go to the... Well, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to tell you what he says. Last, but basically the first requirement is be a technician. as near to a perfectionist as possible in this regard. Learn to do all your moves automatically and effortlessly, so that you can project your personality and do your real selling job. I think that's wonderful. And I don't think he's talking about like, oh, be an expert in the most complicated moves. I think he's saying like, perfect your performances, which, by the way, isn't just the trick, right? It's the introduction. It's your pocket management. It's where the props come from, and it's where the props go. You don't want to put a prop in the same pocket. You've got another prop which you want to pull out. That's going to be very, very confusing. Anyway, all of these things are very, very important. All of these aspects that Allerton considers to be important for a close-up magician, and I think for any kind of magician. Anyway, the reason I brought all of this up and Allerton's approach to being the perfect magician is because having interviewed him, I really believe our next guest, Alex Boyer, I believe he contains all of these qualities. He's incredibly creative. He understands entertainment value. He works hard at his stuff, man. And he's out there working it and connecting with his audiences, and he understands what it is to be entertaining. And so let's now pop over to the interview, part 1, with Alex Boyer.
It's magicians only.
Hang on, let's do that again, shall we?
Let's do it.
I hate this microphone. Every time I touch it, it turns off. It's a bloody nightmare.
Are we going to cut that in the edit? Team, yeah, it's good. All right, perfect.
Okay,
good.
and I've got the team. Can I get hair and makeup in it? I'm getting a bit sweaty.
Well, I mean, we have hair right here. Okay,
the man comes prepared. I love it. It's the way to go. All right, so I'll do a little introduction, and we'll go. Hello, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Magicians Only. I think this is only episode 35 or 36. It feels like episode 136 because it takes a lot to put these episodes together, you know. Don't forget this Magicians Only is sponsored by Magic on the Go, which is the greatest online magic school in the world. Almost 1,000 videos at your fingertips. No need to carry those DVDs. Remember those VHSs or the magic books, because I have done all the research for you, all the best material, and we teach you how to do it, not just how to do it. So it's one of the most important things, and that's what I love about my guest today, because he knows how to perform and he knows how to sell magic. He knows what's commercial, and he goes out and he actually makes it happen. Super big respect. I have a bunch of questions for him. So would you please welcome to the show Mr. Alex Boyer? Yeah. You're on.
Hair looks good. Everything's fine. Good.
Yeah,
what's up, people? How are you?
Dude, I did a little hair and makeup myself just because you're the man with the hair. You know, you are the hair. I was watching in your promo videos. It's all like slow motion.
Oh yeah,
hair flips.
oh yeah. We you know, I'm leaning on it. You know, it's funny. You know, self-deprecating also, and I think it's very important actually for a performer to try and be self-deprecating. You know, that's the first step to try. Connect with the audience.
I think because they expect us to be kind of, every time someone says the great asshole,
oh my God,
it's the word,
I know.
master magician, all that stuff. It's like, no, you're not a master. You're a guy that does tricks. Just come out and entertain us. And you're right.
Yeah.
Self-deprecation.
Exactly. We're not saving lives, bud. We're doing double lifts. You know. First of all, let me just start.
We call them DLs on this show.
Yeah.
On the download.
Right. Stop. But yeah, let me just start by saying what an intro. Thank you so much for the kind words, man. It means a lot. And also, let's backtrack a little bit. Okay. You have a magic school with over 1,000 videos.
Yeah, almost 1,000 videos. Yeah.
Okay, so everyone that knows me and everyone who knows about online magic, and not online revealing tricks, but teaching magic, you guys know that it's extremely hard to put out even 100 videos. For you to have 1,000 videos,
it's insane.
It's amazing. It's super inspiring, man.
Thank you. And I just shot 3 more last night. It's it's one of these things.
Hey, you don't have to brag about it. Right?
I'll let you brag. No, but it is like last night I shot 3 more, and I just it's an albatross. This idea of an albatross around your neck, right? But it is an albatross that I love, and the same with having a podcast that you have to have an episode every week. It's like, it forces you to get off your ass because you have a deadline. So the members of Magic on the Go are really important to me. A lot of them have been with me since the beginning as we built the site, and we kind of add all this content. So I want to keep giving them. Actually filmed something last night. Did I show you when we were in FISM? Did I show you? I don't think I did, my magnet card trick with the dippy magnet.
No.
So it's a trick that Harbin invented back in the 30s, and any card is chosen, mixed up, and you hold a magnet on a string and you touch all the cards, and the magnet only gets attracted to the signed card. And then, but I kind of added something to it so that the spectator can do it, so they touch it, and then they pull the card off the magnet, and then and you don't touch it, and then when they try to reconnect the card to the magnet, it doesn't work anymore. It's not magnetized anymore. And it's a great trick, but the problem with it is that you could do it once, and you've got to go reset. You've got to pop off for like a minute or 30 seconds and reset. So for workaround, as you like to call it, mingle magic, which I like that, mingling with the muggles. Yeah. The mingle magic. So when you're doing the mingling, you don't want to be.
By the way, can you see my nipple through this shirt? Am I okay?
Yeah, they're getting harder.
You talking about magic? You know me, buddy.
You need a special second camera, just right there.
Oh, buddy, the amount of tape we use on Big Trick Energy to cover nipples. Anyways, keep going.
The big nip energy. Yeah. We're going to get to that. Definitely. But I was going to say, so I came up with this gadget, this gimmick to kind of enable you to do that magnet trick table to table, so you don't have to go back and reset. So it's super. Yeah, no reset. There's no reset whatsoever. And so that makes it like super commercial, right? I mean, you can even like spread the cards on the floor, have a long string with like a horseshoe magnet, and have someone do it. So I was going to keep it to myself, but last night I was like, fuck it. You know what? The members deserve it. So I filmed it, and I'll put it up like next month or so.
Wow, that's amazing. That's amazing. And knowing you're like I was telling my girl earlier about you, is like, I'm like, beside you being a great actor, you're an amazing magician, but like, you have so much knowledge, dude. It's insane. Like, knowing things from the 30s, it's like, hey man, like who knows about that? It's crazy. But the fact that you're able to transform the effect or the plot or the story in today's day and age, and to connect with people. Yeah. It's super rare.
Thank you. Yeah. Well, I think there's a lot of great stuff that we're missing, and because everything's gone to film and DVD and like online single trick DVDs and the rest of it, we've lost it all, right? All of these great secrets. So that's part of my journey, is like finding these things that need to be rescued, but also updating them to the new thing,
and putting them in the right hands as well. That's another thing.
Putting them in the hands of people who really want to learn them and have like a passion to do something with it. It's like I just decided to start doing this thing on Magic on the Go, where I'm going to start every episode with a trick review, but it's going to be a trick review of a trick that came out at least 50 years ago. Right. So it'll be something that it's already out there, and so I just did one for Conus aces, because when you take the Conus ace trick and you say 4 aces, they can be examined. The spectator puts his hand on, they can keep checking that there's 4 aces. And then when you want, the aces are no longer there. It's 4 in different cards and the aces are in their pocket. It's a great trick. No gimmicks. You can like sell it like it's a trick, but then it's available pretty much everywhere. But enough about me. Let's talk about you. You just moved house, so I appreciate you taking the time.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, man. I mean, it's an honor. It's a pleasure for me to be on your podcast. I mean, you're one of my heroes in Magic, for real. I told you in FISM, first time we met,
Thank you.
In person. And yeah, for so many reasons. And one of the best trick that I do in my show is literally book. And I've been performing it since I'm a kid. So like I said, man, it's an honor for me to be here.
Oh, that's so great to hear. For those who don't know, Booked is a book test that I put out where the page ends up getting ripped out. I took a couple of effects and methods and ideas and combined them into this kind of new, super kind of.
Let me pitch it to the audience.
Okay,
right?
why don't
because
you tell it?
More than that. It's more than that. Back in the day, because I'm 32, by the way, all right, and I've been raised into the world of books, libraries, DVDs, VHS, DVDs, and online magic. So I've seen everything. But back in the day, folks, what's cool with DVDs and books and everything is that you had maybe one DVD with one effect, but different methods, different ways to do it.
Yep.
Professional, videos of the magicians performing for real crowd in the field, experience magic like it's supposed to be. And this is Steve Valentine, folks. All right. First of all, so we put out this DVD called Book, and it's the amount of different method you can do for this effect just shows you how Steve is an amazing magician and creator. So there we go. That was my pitch. Have a good night, guys.
Thank you. All right. And that's Magic on the Go. We'll be back next week for another episode. And if you want to buy books, it's available on magiconthego.com. You can download it, or it's part of, if you subscribe, it's part of it. Actually, I got to tell you that the thing with that trick it was the first thing I put out. And for those who don't know, a page is selected, and then the page ends up, you can tell them what the word is, but then the page ends up ripped out any way you want. And on the DVD, people don't do the version which is signed, but you can have the page signed and end up on the outside on a window or something.
Oh, God, that's right.
It's so good. But everyone goes for the easier version, right?
Oh my God, yeah.
But that trick was used on America's Got Talent. And one of the guys, by a number of people, and I've seen it on TV and all these news reports, people do it a lot. And one guy almost screwed it up. And I remember thinking, this, as the camera came in, I was like, this is why magicians don't want all of their tricks on television, when they sell stuff, because if he screwed it up, we would have no more sales, right? That would have been.
Yeah.
But what was hilarious was it was done by someone on America's Got Talent. And then it was done by a guy on Britain's Got Talent. And then the newspapers over there picked up that it was the same trick. And so they were like, he's ripping off this American magician. And then I'm in the corner going, hello. Yeah. It's actually no one's. Yes. They bought it. It's okay.
Yeah. Yeah. No, such a great trick, man. It's and
how do you present it? How do you get into it?
Yeah, so it's a story of my mom and dad, basically, how they met each other, and I go into my mom's favorite book, and it all ties up beautifully. And it's actually an emotional trick. Like the routine and the story is an emotional trick more than anything else. So people are very engaged by it because we all have parents.
Yeah.
And we all fell in love at some point. And it's very, very, it's a heartwarming effect for me to do. And it's important as well. And it just ties up perfectly, Is it
part of your Alex in Wonderland?
Yes. So it was part of that, and it's still part of my corporate shows as well, believe it or not.
Okay.
Because as we know, corporate events, it's either party, drunk people, or they're there to see a magic trick, or everything is combined. Drunk people, they're there to see a magician and everything.
Right.
So this part of the show brings everyone, dims down the vibe a little bit. It's like, all right, let's get serious for a second, folks. And everyone is just like, But again, I think sorry, I was going to say something just because I saw a magic show yesterday. I don't want to say who, but it was, dude, the most horrible magic show I've seen in my life. And it's a superstar, all right?
Oh, no. Are you in Vegas, by any chance?
No. In Canada. So anyways. The reason I was going to say this comment is that it's all about the personality as well and the persona of the magician.
Yeah.
I think at the end of the day, especially when you do something emotional with the audience, it has to be authentic in a way.
Yes.
The second you try to lie to the audience,
they can sense it, right? They feel that you're just being fake, manipulative.
Exactly. Absolutely. And it's so easy for a performer to just try and think for 5 minutes of what can be authentic for them. It can be emotional in a different aspect for another performer, but as long as it's authentic, that's what I think,
Yeah.
But yeah, so my routine with book, man, is beautiful and obviously impossible. When you go like this and it's like, okay, well, what page number you were thinking of? Okay, go in the book, and they're like, just the audience on stage going through the book and being like this. And everyone is like, what the hell is going on? I'm just like,
we live for those moments where they're like, no, oh no, and then they're like, motherfucker, you just, you live. Yeah. I love it when they're just like a beat ahead of you. because the effect has already happened in their mind, and then it's just confirmed on stage. But it's already happened here, which is so much more magical, right?
And I would add that gasps for me is sometimes way more, how can I say that, important to have than applause.
Sure.
Because gasp is not force for the human body, for the human in general. Gasp is really like it's just natural for a person to do that. So applause sometimes it's force, you know. So, anyways,
yeah, you can't force a gasp. That's
Instead, talk
really
about
true. You can't force it. That's brilliant. I'm so happy that you do that. So I was on your website, which, by the way, is one of the best websites for a magician.
Oh, yeah, thanks, man. I'm rebranding everything in a month, but thank you, man.
Did you design it yourself? Did you?
Yes. So the website thing. So long story. Well, I mean, it's gonna be a long story, but kind of short as well.
Long episode. It's all right. Go for it.
I've never had an actual team around me since day one for magic. So my magic business always been in the family. My sister was my manager for years. My parents always been there to encourage me.
Amazing.
And a couple of years ago, I met this guy. He's one of my best friends now, like brother, and he's a wizard of marketing, branding, and everything. He sells millions of dollars of tickets for the biggest EDM festival here in Canada. He's a wizard of marketing.
Okay.
But I'm also able to take pictures. I'm great with branding, Photoshop, videos, and everything. So me and him combined together, we started to work together in my business. Now I have someone that works with me. But this guy, he's like, you need a new website. Like, what the hell are you doing, man? You know, especially if you want to sell Alex in Wonderland shows in Quebec, where you're from, but you're not known. You're known in the States and in the English part of Canada.
Right.
But then you're in your province, it's like, what the hell, dude? It makes no sense. So we rebranded everything, and we came up with something that we really, really enjoyed. And now we're just trying to shift a little bit more towards corporate.
Sure.
I don't want to say comedy, but more like fun for everyone.
Yeah. One of the things that's very clear on your website, and you say you're about to change it again. Is that what you...
Well, it's more about the... we're not selling Alex in Wonderland shows anymore. So this is what we're just going to take out of the website and add something more corporate.
Okay.
But yeah. But
I think one of the things that comes across is the energy. You have an energy and a fun, and you can see the reactions, and it works really well. Like you want to scroll, you want to see it. I don't think there's at any point you actually have an actual routine. I think you're showing moments from the show, which just kind of people's reactions, which is great. And it looks very professional with all the logos and everything. So yeah, I mean, if you ever decide not to do magic, you guys could make a living branding websites for people.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, I need to redo mine, but we'll talk.
Yeah, for sure. We'll talk anything you want, man. Anything you need, any advice, anything. You've been helping me without knowing it over the years. So if I can help you in any way, I got you, buddy.
Yeah, I think,
man.
What to you, when it comes to marketing and branding, do you have bullet points that you always adhere to? Are there thoughts? What's your approach to it all?
The way I look at branding, I think for any kind of artists, brands, anything, it's mostly clean, easy to understand, presentable, you know.
Yeah.
We all know magicians that wants to do corporate events, but they're dressed as, you know, a clown almost, you know, or they look like they're hand drawn by their kindergarten kid. It's like, man, you're not going to do corporate events.
It's like cheesy, right?
Yeah. Right. But what I mean is, what I'm saying is not mean. It's just the truth. Like think for 5 minutes. Would you buy yourself? Because you're not a magician. You can be, but I think at the end of the day, you are a product.
Yeah.
So would you buy yourself? Would you, you know, I'm always thinking about that. Like, would I work with me? Would I work with this?
Yeah.
I think this is the number one
question.
Interesting
thing, because would you hire you? I know a friend of mine who was complaining about dating after his divorce, and he's incredibly overweight, and he doesn't look the healthiest. And one of my mates said to him, like, would you date you? You know, and it had an impact on him, and it was said with love, but he got his shit together. So yeah, I think
absolutely. And listen to your audience, but your audience, not only like the actual spectators, it's like your friends. Listen to your audience. Listen to, you know, like you just said about your friend, you know, he was overweight. He was trying to go on dates. He didn't know why. It's like, buddy, you know, like start eating some salad and fucking go for runs, you know, like do something.
Get your shit together. Yeah. So as a magician,
but
get your shit together, like make yourself attractive.
well, yeah, but it's also presentable, you know, like, dude, I used to be a fat kid with, you know, no style whatsoever. And at what point I was like, dude, I want to be, my ego is talking right now, but like, I wanted to be a celebrity. I wanted to be like a magician, you know,
Right.
like someone who can do gigs and everything. So, dude, I had to go to the gym and, you know, change my habits, my bad habits. And first of all, it's good for everything. It's only good news. Good for your health, good for your physique, good for dates, you know?
Self-confidence, right? Absolutely. Yeah.
Oh, buddy,
All of the above.
self-confidence.
Your
Yeah,
suit
and
fits better when you've got to like put your magic in your pockets and you walk on
that's
stage.
right.
And it's always been, yeah. No, I totally agree with you. So when you approach the branding and the website and I guess number one is like know who you are, right? It's like
Yes.
what are you
So
selling?
this is a great point. For me, I've always struggled about knowing who I am as a performer.
Yeah.
Because I'm not only a magician, like I'm a musician. I love I love Halloween. I love makeup. I love special effects makeup. I love lighting. I love sound.
Yeah.
I just love every kind of art. But I'm also able to work in pretty much every kind of art. I can do music and do this. So I'm like, who am I going to be on stage?
Yes.
You know?
Yeah.
And when you think about that, for me, it's like, oh, fuck, am I going to be a musician on stage that does magic? So I'm like, oh, fuck, it's going to be way too cheesy. Can't do that.
Right.
But if it's authentic and you present it with your heart and it's true, now it doesn't become cheesy because it's true. It's literally who this person is on stage and off stage.
Yeah.
You know, just more times 2 on stage, right?
Yeah.
But it's like you said, man, know yourself, be okay with that. Be okay with what is not working with you. That could work for someone else as well, I think.
Yeah.
And yeah, man, you know, trials and errors, go in the field, tests, bomb, fail. You know, the more you fail, the more you learn, the more you become better.
So
man.
when you're
You know,
branding yourself, especially, I think also it sounds like especially now you're changing, you're going from the Alex in Wonderland, which we should say to everybody, it was I haven't seen the show, but I saw the video. It looks amazing. Like you have assistants and stage sets and you have a whole kind of whimsical Alice in Wonderland theme that is also part of a dinner show, right?
Yes. So it started with it's called the soirée illuminée in French, meaning the illumination light, whatever. It was kind of a Harry Potter themed magic show, dinner magic show. And this started because I did a gig once, corporate events, and the theme was Harry Potter. They hired me to just bring magic into the event, whatever.
Right.
And I tailored special effects and routine, Harry Potter theme, and it was just amazing. And 2 months after, I was just like, why the hell am I not creating an event or a show like this and sell tickets? Who doesn't like Harry Potter?
Sure.
Like everyone fucking loves Harry Potter. So I was like, all right, so
J.K. Rowling's lawyers really love Harry Potter.
okay, so hold on, buddy. Hold on. There's a reason we're not doing the Harry Potter show anymore.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. So here's what's up. So here's what happened. So we did that. We sold, I don't know how many thousands of tickets in this short amount of time. All right. I had to create a Harry Potter team magic show in like 2 months, rehearse. You know how 2 months is not a lot. All right.
No time at all. Yeah.
I have a big ego as a magician. I'm like, all original tricks, not tested whatsoever. Let's fucking go, you know?
I did this. I've done this. It's brutal. Yeah.
It is brutal.
Yeah.
Thank God it worked. Okay. It worked great.
Okay.
I think I have angels looking over me. I don't know what happened, dude, but like I think 2 illusions and they were made with like duct tape and, you know, a couple of screws but it looked great. It worked. So fuck it, you know? Anyway.
Yeah.
All this to say, we had a cease and desist a couple of months after doing the show of Warner Brothers. They're like, hey, guys, your shows is making too much noise for us. Mm-hmm. We don't have control over it. So either you give us like more than half or...
They wanted more than they wanted, what, like a 60-40 split or something?
Yeah, higher than that.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Everything about branding and the name and everything. So it was just like, hey, look. I don't have any agent anymore. I don't have any agent whatsoever. I've never had an agent, back in the day.
Sure.
And I'm like, yeah, I don't want to have a boss. I'm my own boss. I want to create my own thing. So fuck you guys. all this to say, we have to stop that.
Yeah.
But the issue was that we already rented like 3 rooms to do the show. So we had the rooms, and the rooms were like 20 grand for a weekend. Big churches, like one of the best, beautiful church in Montreal. It's an old church, and now they do events there. And we were the first public event doing a show. So we discovered that Alice in Wonderland by
Alice in Wonderland by Lewis Carroll.
By Lewis Carroll, exactly.
There you go.
This is what I meant. So, yeah. So he has no copyright. There's no copyright issues, nothing.
Amazing.
You can take it and do something with it. So we're like, oh my God, Alice in Wonderland, Alex in Wonderland. I'm crazy. Alice in Wonderland.
You're the Mad Hatter. This fits perfectly, right? Yeah.
Looks and feels exactly like a psychedelic acid trip. I like acid and psychedelic acid trip. It goes well together. Let's do it. So
amazing.
Basically what happened is that I had carte blanche. I could do anything.
Yeah.
Because there's not really anything tied up to the theme except someone who's trying to discover herself, Alice, by, taking advice, trials and errors and everything. So I'm like, dude, I can relate so much as an artist.
Yeah.
So all the tricks over the years that I created, the routine, I just like place it in a blender, and it became Alex in Wonderland, basically.
That's amazing. Some things happen for a reason, right? I mean, and now you're back to having complete control over your product.
Yes. So we sold basically a bit more than over 5,000 tickets in less than 2 months.
Congrats.
And the events that I'm not known in.
Yeah.
In 5 of the major cities in Quebec. So this is what we've done. It's just fucking insane. Like,
have you thought about turning it into a theater tour?
Yes, we did talk about that. The thing we're thinking right now is just to remove the dinner show, obviously.
Yeah.
And maybe, I don't know how to say it, but there's so much good things. I'm only saying that because I'm so proud of myself right now. There's so many good things happening in my life right now. Like, I'm still a kid, by the way. Every time a good news happens to me, I'm just like I'm still a kid. You know me, man.
Got to
like,
enjoy the ride, though, right? I mean, this is it. It's like if everything's like, oh, it's good, but I don't know what's going to happen next, then you're not going to enjoy the ride. You got to enjoy to me, you're Alex in Wonderland. Okay. So here's, unsolicited advice, right? Not that you need it from me, but I did the Illusionists. I did the Illusionists, and the reason the Illusionists works is because it's a branded show above and beyond the performers, and it appeals to a family audience. And that way they're able to bring in 5,000 people, 9,000 people a show. And what I really respect about what they do, because it's a family audience and because it's a branded show, they're able to do multiples of it, right? They're able to have them all over the world and really make money. Your idea, Alex in Wonderland, same thing. Absolutely the same thing. Take that idea of a magician who finds himself in Wonderland, bring the kids. I mean, it's just, I have an idea for a family show, for like a theater show, because I really saw kind of when the Illusionist was cooking, kind of what it was bringing in. You know what I mean? So it's
man.
I think it's a perfect thing to.
Yeah, there is there for sure. It's just like, I think it's just that the projects are piling up.
Yeah.
But I'm not close to it. For sure. But right now, like, it's Christmas season, the corporate are starting again and everything. So it's like, I'll take a small break. I just move out to a new house as well. I have to come down to Toronto and chill with you sometime,
Please,
so,
you're always welcome. I'd love to see you.
And I have to go for a smoke because I'm a real chain smoker. So I'm just going to get back to it, all right? I'm kidding. By the way, instant reset. Instant reset.
You look like a chain smoking Marvin Roy. It just kind of comes out of the.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Comes out of the mouth there. I want to say, well, listen, so the website's amazing. Your branding's amazing. I think there's a lot people can learn from how you do everything. And it looks like you're juggling a lot of projects. How did the Big Trick Energy show on Netflix, how did it come about? And what was that experience like for you? Because TV is a whole nother beast, right? Thank you, Alex, for an amazing interview. Thanks. That's part 1. Tune in next week for part 2. If you could do me a huge favor, just do me a massive favor, and wherever you are, whatever podcast platform that you're watching this or listening to this on, could you please just scroll up or down or sideways and give us a 5-star review? You don't have to write a review. Just hit the 5 stars. Just give us 5 stars, because it helps. It helps the podcast get more viewers, get more visibility, and it's really surprisingly very, very important. So the whole phrase that we hear people saying all the time, like, share, subscribe, it is actually a very, very important thing. So if you're enjoying this, and even if you're not, just if you're not, on the way out as you slam the door, just give us a 5-star review. Just help us, move forward. That will be, and get better, and then we can get better for you, and we can travel more, and we can add more, production value to this podcast. Okay, so it'd be huge if you could do that for us. Thank you so much. And also, as you know, Halloween is coming up, so there are 5 videos that I did for Magic on the Go on Halloween pranks, and so I'm going to put them here on YouTube. So guys, if you go to YouTube, if you go to Steve Valentine Show, if you look up Magicians Only with Steve Valentine, you will find there's going to be a playlist which is going to be Halloween pranks. A lot of them are ones that I published before on my Magic on the Go site, but I'm probably going to add a few extra ones as well. Plus, I'm going to add a very special Halloween trick with tarot cards. That's actually quite creepy. I'm going to add that to Magic on the Go over the next couple of weeks. It's very dark. Makes my voice break as I say it. It's very, very dark, and it's super perfect for Halloween. So that's going to happen soon. Oh, wait. I almost forgot, before I say goodbye, there's this thing about the theme song. So every now and again over the next bunch of episodes, I'm going to be having fun with AI, and we're going to see how AI treats magic when I want it to create a theme song for me. So the one at the beginning you heard today was a little bit more like anime kind of theme song introduction. So then I asked if it would give me a rock and roll theme song. All I said to this particular AI program, I'm not going to tell you which one it is because they're not paying me. But I asked it to create a song for me for my podcast. I said it's called Magicians Only. It's a podcast. It's hosted by Steve Valentine. It's about magic and magicians and secrets. So I printed out the lyrics that it wrote for me, and it created the song, which is absolutely annoyingly catchy. I'm going to play it for you and lip sync, because that's what all the kids are doing these days. And if this podcast means nothing else to you, if you've got nothing else from all of the episodes of this podcast, but a bit of enjoyment watching me make a complete tit out of myself right now, then it will have all been worthwhile, because I think the lyrics on this are hilarious. And this is totally written by AI. So here we go. Wish me luck. All right, I can't believe I'm doing this. I want you all standing up. Let's go. Oh.
Why is he staring into my eyes? I don't know. How the hell did he just do that? Did he just
I co-host the lectures at the Magic Castle every Sunday. I've never seen a book test better than this one. And I'm talking about out of 30 years of being at the castle, the best book test I've ever seen.
Look at the first word on that page. Have a quick look at it. Have you got it? Or would you have a look at the first word for me? All right, so now you're thinking of a page in a book. Is there any way I can know what word you chose? Is there any way I can know what page you chose? It'd be kind of crazy. It'd be really crazy. It'd be something. It'd be something. Is the word something? Isn't that something? Word is cash, strong, smoked. What? Oh, not again. Look at this. This is 114 is gone. What happened? Oh, that's weird. Inside, I think I have a little piece of paper that looks astonishingly like the page from a book. Would that be your initials?
Yeah.
And just to prove it actually came from right here.
Woo!
Perfect. I don't know what could possibly. Is that your initials right there? Let me just. Page 100. Now you're going to need this when you read the book. Yeah, I'll keep it as a souvenir. You're welcome.